Well, welcome everyone. It's 2 o'clock Eastern, and you've signed into the nexVortex channel partner update session. Thank you for making time for us today. My name is Mike Nowak, longtime Vice President of Sales for nexVortex. I am now Senior Vice President of Sales at BCM1. And today's conversation is going to be about the update, an important set of updates for our channel partners to make sure that you're in the know of some of the advancements and some of the opportunities for you. And I'm joined here by my friend in Atlanta, Georgia, Andy Stanky. Andy, how are you doing today?
Excellent. Thank you, Mike. I
Very good.
appreciate that.
We're gonna get you on the screen here in just a minute. Before we get into the content today, I've just given you an update and some of the neat things you can take advantage of. And now that we're one big happy family, I just thought I would say a couple words about folks that I've worked with over the years at nexVortex. I've done some webinars, and you may have seen me give them. I just wanted to say thank you to those that have always been with us, and I believe that under the BCM umbrella, we're going to just keep amplifying what we've always done well at nexVortex, and then give you some more tools to play with. And I think you're going to be in a much better spot than ever now that you're welcome into the BCM1 family. We have, on a day-to-day basis, as we're talking to folks and working on projects together, folks said, "Hey, what should I know about BCM1, and what are some of the things that people are taking advantage of?" And Andy and I were talking about this and said, "Hey, we should probably do a quick update session, at least make it brief, make it informative, and make sure folks know where some of the sweet spots are, and we'll try to do that quickly." I did want to just alert to folks, there's a Q&A session here in the Zoom meeting. And if there's something you wanted to ask, Andy and I will make some time at the end and get it addressed for you. But that being said, why don't we get into do a couple visuals for you. And as I mentioned, my name is Mike Nowak, and I'm a Senior Vice President of Sales here at BCM1. And you guys know me, and I want to give the floor to you, Andy. Maybe you can introduce yourself to the team and talk a little about how the team is structured to support our channel partners.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike. And hello to everybody out there. There may be some familiar faces when we get a chance to meet one-on-one, but for those of you who don't know me, just talk a little bit about my background. This is the one and only job that I've ever had in this industry with BCM1, going on finishing my 13th year at the August 10th mark will be my anniversary there. So I kind of started out and did most every role in the sales team at BCM1. So I know where everyone seems to be coming from out in the market and the experience there. So, and the channel for 12 of those 13 years, built it sort of from the ground up. It was a loose channel program when I started, and I was very fortunate to step in and had a lot of success. So thank you to those partners who were there at the beginning and still out there today. And hopefully a lot of you guys on the call now will continue the relationship with us as we go forward. I am in Atlanta, Georgia by way of New York City. I made that move about 7 years ago. I was forced to. My wife said, "Move to Georgia now," and I just jumped in the car and went. So definitely, I'm happy, in the last couple of years to make that move. And I do support and run the team nationally, which, as you'll see in a moment, that is truly a national team. Some familiar faces, obviously, still remaining on the channel team, which is awesome. Mark Mora is promoted to Director of Channel Sales. So for those of you who know Mark, there's some good continuity there, and he brought along some very strong players from the team as well. So as you can see, the team essentially, from the experience from the legacy nexVortex side, is doubled at this point, and we intend to grow. Our goal is to truly be a national channel sales organization to really empower the sell with model. Obviously, we can't be in every city out there, and of course, there's over 1,000 partners now, but we do feel that we have a strong regional support model. And are growing that model based upon the hotspots where all you guys are selling to. So hopefully you'll see the investment from our company to you guys to provide that field level resource and a strong management layer, and then obviously an executive layer through myself and Mike to support your growth with our channel program. For those of you who are not yet familiar with BCM1, you'll obviously see and hear the name a lot more in the coming weeks and months as we grow together as a team and as a company, and the products start to merge tightly together. I think what you'll find is great marriage. We recognized that nexVortex was a huge, powerful market disruptor in the world of next-gen communications and voice. And so BCM1 sought after nexVortex 2 years ago, and we started integrating the companies at the end of last year. A little delay from COVID, but obviously going a little bit more aggressive on that now. What you'll find is the white glove service and the flexibility for clients and for you guys in the field as partners is not at all changing. It's actually just getting stronger and more powerful as we unify the companies. That's the BCM1 model, is to provide the human-focused technology solutions and kind of an excellence in all that we do approach. Our model is bigger from a portfolio perspective now that we have the different entities combined into one unified company. So hopefully you'll see today some additional products that you may not have had access to prior. And if you look at just kind of the company snapshot, a few data points, is we are a reputable company from size and revenue and been around since 1992, which is obviously arguably the fastest growth in this business the last 30 years or so. Heavy brick and mortar in the kind of eastern seaboard area, but as you saw on the previous slide, national team supporting everywhere in the country, and then product-wise and international support as well for clients. Strong verticals, some verticals that may not be on here that you may have sold into: government, education, nonprofit, legal verticals, still very strong. The three on the screen just happen to be top revenue-wise, but as far as counts of clients go, those 17,000 plus clients are all spread through the strong verticals that you're used to selling into. The last point on this slide, you can look at BCM1 in two ways, from your perspective and then also the perspective from your client. Our goal is to really eliminate that supplier fatigue. We have a lot of products that we offer, and we partner with a lot of top next-gen service providers, as well as our own high-quality products that you're used to from nexVortex. The main goal: make your life easy. Hopefully you'll grow to come to us for all of your complex as well as high-end client opportunities. And then, of course, to make your client's life easy as well. Some of the additional stuff that we bring to the table to bolster the channel support you're already used to. The sales engineering team is bigger, and still the strength and the quality that you're used to dealing with nexVortex. Just bringing to the table more expertise, more certifications, more best practices with the additional products that you'll have access to. And again, it's a sell with model. So the engineering team is there to be with you in front of a client, be with you as a back office behind the scenes, take that, design it, and then hand off to our delivery team, which is obviously the second vertical there. Full support on provisioning, project management. Obviously, if you sell all of the products under the BCM1 portfolio, could be 10 different underlying technologies. So that single point of contact is then transferred to the service delivery team for the project management of all of those aspects there. So single point of contact from the start on the sales engineering to the provisioning on the post-sales support. And then, of course, after the sale is completed and handed back off to you guys and the customer service team to support, we do have that same customer relationship team, the CRT, that's out there. So a lot of accounts that you guys have sold in the past were supported by this team. That same model is in place now at the BCM1 channel program. I like to call it kind of retention and growth as a service. You guys are partners of ours. This is something that we do for you to help retain and grow your accounts at no charge. It's no additional fee to the client, of course, and definitely no commissions reductions to you guys. So take advantage of that team. And if you haven't in the past, you'll definitely experience that for new sales as well going forward. Mike, I think we'd love to hear a little bit more on the advancements for the next-gen communications.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Andy. I'll jump back in here. Yeah, and I think just to build off what you said, the CRT team, I think, is a true partner asset. Yeah, our mission is we have folks that are in a position to be renewed for their service. It's an inclusive model, right? I mean, we reach out to our business partners and say, we have a customer to be renewed. Would you like to participate? Is it okay if we just contact them and just give you the results? If someone calls us and says, hey, can we add connectivity, which is a popular add-on, our partner benefits from that. It's their sale. So it's an inclusive approach. I think it's a great asset, and we're excited to continue some of the things we did at nexVortex. And again, as you can see here, a lot of synergies of how we did business with, and I think that's what made the marriage so good. On the next gen services side, I did ask Andy if I could make a couple comments. The nexVortex family was always used to our MSIP services and SIP services. Those are remained and fortified, remain in our fortified. But also, one thing that folks came to us for was for hosted voice UCaaS service. And one thing that we do want to make sure folks are aware of is that our UCaaS offering is a definite solid practice. We do use Cisco BroadSoft as our UCaaS platform. That's available, of course, to all of our business partners. That has the same white glove kind of service, consultative service that you expect from BCM1. There's some enhancements we've made to it, especially with our SD-WAN service that we deploy. But that service is a very solid offering for you, and I think you're going to enjoy that experience if you haven't used it before. And that gives you the gateway into WebEx if you want to use a WebEx type interface for your customer and give them that collaboration experience. And the other side of the coin, of course, Microsoft Teams. You probably all have heard us promoting Teams for a long time. We're big believers in it. We love direct routing and the capabilities that the Teams collaboration experience gives customers, and we wanted to support it and let our partners take advantage of it. And if you look at the Teams offerings we have, it's interesting because SIP trunking is the soul of a lot of that, and we think we've got that nailed down pretty good, and the interoperability piece. But then we also supplement some features that are needed in Teams with our UCaaS platform, and so that's been a really good marriage, and it allows us to offer a solid solution in Teams that you can count on, that actually executes. And so on that and our SIP trunking services, we just continue to invest in them. One thing that's newer for some is we do have our siptrunk.com brand, which sometimes you need. And I'll show you an example here of how people use it as a second network and a backup service, or for those that need quick automated service with demo accounts, et cetera. And then we have our wholesale division for folks that want a private brand. So a lot of investments in SIP and voice. It's going great. It was a phenomenal year for us, helping people last year, and it continues to go. And that's just part of it. What I love for us is the ability to complete a solution, do one bill, and incorporate some of those core competencies that BCM1 always had. Andy, could you share a couple of those things with us on the managed services side?
Sure, absolutely. So if you see there off to the right of the screen, that's kind of the components that BCM1 historically has brought to the table. You'll hear a lot of like manage this and manage that, and that's obviously just our way of branding it, that we're going to give a quality experience from start to finish for you and your clients. And absolutely, these products are certainly going to be sold to clients that make sense, and give to you guys out there for existing clients that may have services with nexVortex legacy, and obviously brand new logo sales. You'll learn more about these in the ensuing months too. Managed SD-WAN, we have our best practices in place right now. We offer 3 different flavors depending upon the client's requirements, and whether or not they need on-net application support, by Versa, for example, or Cisco Meraki, and also Cato has been onboarded as well. So again, all under one contract and one invoice from BCM1. Managed connectivity is the BCM bread and butter for however long. 20 years at this point, 21 years or so. That's just the global ISP access. Almost 70 suppliers internationally now, globally for data services. The major tier 1 providers in the US and the cable companies as well. Obviously, you guys can go to those carriers directly, but if you need a solution where it's 10 different locations and multiple ISPs, that's a fastball down the middle for the core managed connectivity offering. From the Microsoft side, to complement that voice-enabled Teams, we are a gold billing partner for Microsoft, offers 365 licensing in Microsoft Azure. We don't have to, of course. If you guys do that on your own, that's awesome. But we can enable you to put that to a client to keep the competition out and also create an additional revenue stream. We have our own technology expense management division, which is powered by a product called Sophia, inventory expense and contract management for wireline, wireless, and public cloud services geared towards high, medium to enterprise clients. You guys can sell that as a service. And then, of course, the network monitor management that comes inclusive with any managed connectivity sale. We do that as standalone too. a lot of partners like that, we do the eyes on glass remediation for carrier connectivity. And then if you are a help desk partner, you go out there and you fix it, and you can still maintain that client interaction as an MSP by outsourcing the eyes on glass support to us, of course, which is a compensable product that we offer. All wrapped with our NOC 24/7, 365, voice powered out of Herndon, Virginia, data powered out of New York, 24/7. Follow the sun model for eyes on glass overnight service, redundant locations in the domestic US and offshore as well. And everybody in the NOC has certifications and best practices with Cisco and Microsoft, which is our standard there. Obviously, there may be questions on that. So just to summarize, 2 quick points here. Mike and I feel the easiest low-hanging fruit is just adding circuit connectivity to your existing SIP trunking or future SIP trunking voice deals. Obviously in the past, nexVortex was able to do this. Now it's just a more expansive portfolio to be able to do that. So keep that in mind. That's probably the easiest thing. Clients need something to support that SIP and that UCaaS. So that's huge for us. Again, global connectivity. And then summarizing just the business model, one invoice, one company, it's the single point of contact. And I think now the market's turned a lot. 20 years ago, people wanted to deal with the major providers. Now they don't really care. They know that we're going to be powered by AT&T or Verizon WAN or something like that, or Cisco hardware, but they just don't want to deal with the major companies. They like the quality they've experienced with companies like us and nexVortex. And now we're simply one company for that single point of contact business model approach. All right, so Mike and I have a few examples. Mike's going to start with a couple, and I'll finish it off.
Excellent. Appreciate it, Andy. Well, it's interesting. We thought a couple examples would show you some of the things that people are doing, and that answers that initial question of what should I be aware of and what's low-hanging fruit here with the combined company. Healthcare is the #1 vertical for nexVortex partners, has been for a while. Why is that? A lot of on-premise systems, a lot of call manager and Mitels and Avaya systems in there. We have the certifications, etc. So no doubt we'll show a quick healthcare example. Hospitals have been very in demand, I would say, of the services we provide with MSIP. So a quick example of a recent partner win that was a hospital. Of course, that was the healthcare vertical market. The services that were sold, it was initially an MSIP project, 300 call paths shared between a couple Cisco cubes. There's a variety of benefits. And what happened in this sale is they felt like they were buying a Maserati, and they wanted to ride it on a paved road. They wanted the right kind of highway for it. And they said, let's look at your connectivity. Let's get it all from the same group. Should we bring out MPLS? That's an option. Should we bring out, ISP access with peering, and let's give them a good rate on it. And so with our relationships, we found peering carriers that made sense, all on one bill. All one point of contact for them. They got the benefits of the MSIP trunk sharing and the definitive troubleshooting and the 911 modules and the business continuity aspects, of course, but the ability to get the transport and get it clean, monitored, and managed was easy, and it added a good amount of revenue for our business partner, and completed the sale. But pretty easy. It was just simply saying, you're investing in this, it's important to you. Would you like to get it all together on one bill, get the access? And that's an easy option for you, easy and a good experience for our customers. So that's a recent hospital win that just came in. Another one that I thought was interesting, and just showing you some of the creativity that can be done and the capabilities, was for an insurance sector organization. Again, we're not going to name any names, but some folks probably use this group. It's in the health sector. They serve the health insurance sector. And what they did for one of their facilities is they wanted MSIP service because of a lot of the attributes that you're aware of. In this case, they had 2 phone systems. One of them, they felt it was best to use PRI handoff. That's what it had. And they ordered MSIP with 35 concurrent call paths for their 2 PRI handoffs. That's all they need, was 35 call paths. They had a secondary system, and they're going to share those resources together. The secondary system was, instead of a PRI investment there, they were ready to do native SIP. So half of the environment was PRI handoff, half of it was native SIP. They had the dual PRI set up. Redundancy was very important to them. Quality, they selected connectivity from us, 100 meg Ethernet circuit for ISP peering. And then they took it a step further. They did dual WAN failover on our provided SBC. And they said, we want additional redundancy because we can't be down. We want to get SIP trunks from another network and all on one bill. So we use our siptrunk.com network into the fold. So we have the nexVortex network and the siptrunk.com network. And we're able to provide emergency lines for them, low cost. And that way that if everything was down, they could still use the other trunk line access. So they were very pleased. Redundancy was a big deal of it. Of course, they love the portals and tools and single point of contact and a complete solution. And on the SIP trunking side, they were always going to have two providers, and we gave them the two separate networks and all together. So I thought this was pretty unique and a neat highlight of some of the things you can build together. And we're showcasing some of the easier ones with connectivity. Andy, how about we jump into the UCAS solution that we were talking about? I think that's some interesting highlights.
Yeah, for sure. This one's a little bit larger sale. It's actually a partner sale out of the Northeast at about $45,000 a month. So I'm sure everyone loves this type of sale. Closed in Q1, was delayed because of COVID, obviously, in the vertical market, high-end luxury, so retail, which is a big vertical for legacy BCM1. You know, anybody with a low IT staff and big technological footprint is huge for us. We basically took the client from MPLS, and they had PRIs, and they moved some of those PRIs to SIP, and some were left over, and they were looking for a solution and a design, and our team jumped in 18 months ago. The good news was the client loved us, so stuck it out through COVID, came back around, and by the time they came back around, we actually had built in Versa to our data centers to support the UCAS One BroadSoft offering that Mike mentioned earlier. So this client loved it. They loved the ability to have that voice packet duplication, and they wanted to work with us on that project. And so they signed off recently, I believe it was March, they signed off to move all of their MPLS to a dual ISP at 50 sites. So all under one bill with BCM1. And then ramping up to 400 users moved over to BroadSoft powered UCAS One with Versa in our data centers to provide that packet duplication and uptime for their voice. Obviously, a lot of their stuff was done over the phone during COVID, and they wanted to be prepared for that. People calling in, repeat customers. Hey, you know, it's my 10-year wedding anniversary. I need to pick up my jewelry. Big sales for these guys, and so they wanted to make sure they had uptime on the phone to provide that quality experience with their clients and keep it going. So again, the value was that single point of contact. You know, they loved our engineering team and our channel sales team and the partner. That helped a lot. But the single point of contact for all the services in conjunction with that, and of course, providing the cost savings as you usually see moving from MPLS to an SD-WAN environment. And the power of our SD-WAN back to UCAS One was huge. You know, it was something that was newer to the conversation. Like I mentioned, it wasn't available until 6 months ago, but they loved it. And when they immediately added that to the component and the design, and it was a great win all around, about $45,000 a month for the partner and for us. So just kind of wrapping up here, hopefully there's 50 questions for us to answer. Again, you know, here's my information, my email there. You can always contact your current CAM if for some reason you haven't spoken to one or don't have an assigned CAM. You can always email sales admin or myself, astanky@bcm1.com. You know, looking forward to eventually speaking with all of you over the next few months. And just a little something we're going to throw out there for summer series, June, July, and August, to keep everyone busy during the months when you're outside. You can always dial in remotely by the pool or the beach side. We're going to have a webinar each month. The first one's going to be released soon for June, and then July and August. We really want to drive attendance from and involvement from you guys. So we're willing to bribe you a little and pay for your time. Obviously, you can see on the screen, you know, attend 1, attend 2, and attend all 3. You guys can get a little gift from us to go out and buy something nice for the summertime, a couple beers or whatever you'd like to do. We are going to roll out the schedule and then send the gift cards just in time for the Labor Day weekend after the 3-month summer series is done. We're going to start off pretty cool and cord with managed connectivity and managed SD-WAN. Come see how we do that differently. July will be a refresher, as we've done a couple of these already with voice-enabled Teams in our Microsoft offering. And then in August, finishing up with that BCM1 UCAS and Versa SD-WAN, which we just discussed on that high-end retail win that I reviewed. So looking forward to seeing everyone register. Make sure you do register so we can kind of track it and send you your gift card that you obviously would have deserved by attending. So I look forward to seeing everybody on those. Mike, any thoughts before we dig into the Q&A?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it was just nice to be in front of everybody. BCM1 is getting bigger. It's going well. I would say, I think as a business partner, you're just going to have a better and better experience. We appreciate our small business sector, mid-range, and enterprise. And as a business partner, we have solid solutions and care for those sectors. And I think you're going to find it be even easier to do business with us as we go forward. We're not going to forget that. It's as you get bigger, there's you can't forget what your mission is, and we want to make this a fantastic partner experience for you. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited about where we're going, and I hope folks can join us over the summer. I think we're targeting the first webinar, I think mid-June, I think is when it is. And I think the plan is, Andy, that those will be sent out to our normal partner newsletter channel. Before we get into the Q&A, sometimes folks will ask, are these recorded? We record them. I don't think this one's going to get on our website, but if you have anyone you wanted to listen to this or go through it again, if you shoot us a note, we'll make sure you have it. But Andy, do you want to see if there's any Q&A that came in that maybe we can spend a few minutes on?
Yeah, so we do have one so far. So again, I encourage everyone, if you do have something, send it in now. It comes in as, are there any plans to become a 3CX approved SIP provider again?
That's a good one. I mean, maybe I can take that one.
Sure.
Andy. I've always enjoyed working with 3CX. I would be thrilled to do that. And I can tell you that they have really good relationships with us, especially at siptrunk.com. And we're talking with 3CX about BCM1, and I feel really good about it. We have some common initiatives together. 3CX in their new version, especially with their SMS capabilities, are fantastic. We put a lot of investment into our API rebuild. I'm told all of that will be released as early as June 1. And that's a big piece of it. And that's one of the things that we wanted to do to make it easier for 3CX. So we're thrilled about where we can go with this and what Greg and company are doing. And we're hopeful we can make it easier. We have so many 3CX partners that come to us every day. We think we feel good about the future together. I'm excited about what they're doing, and I think we can make it happen. I'm hopeful.
Awesome. Thank you. I don't see any other questions in the Q&A. So let me scroll down, make sure I didn't miss it. Oh, there's just a thank you for that one, Mike. So thank you again.
Good.
No other questions there. Let's just check that chat stream. None there. So none for us, Mike. I guess we hit the mission. No questions. It was a perfect webinar.
So we strive for, but good stuff.
All right. No other questions. Going once, going twice. I'll check one more time. Oh, there's something from the chat. Thank you, Mike and Andy. You're welcome. We appreciate that.
Okay. Excellent, guys.
Yeah, no other questions, Mike. So we're good.
Excellent. Well, thank you all. And if someone does want this, please shoot us a note. We'll get it to you. And thank you, guys. Looking forward to doing some more work with you.
It's nice to meet everybody. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.